Fine. So last session, we were talking about features of C#.NET, in which we have come up about platform independent. In that platform independent, we have covered two architectures. One is about architecture of platform independent. This was one part we discussed yesterday. And second part was architecture of code compilation and execution. This was second part. Yesterday we have discussed even about this as well. Okay, right. Now, next part. Now, next part is third architecture. What is it? Architecture of compiler and assembler. What do you call this as? Reverse engineering in .NET. Okay. Right. Now, let's make one simple architecture on this. And one more thing, this topic which I'm going to explain now, make very clear that as of now, we'll understand this with theory. Once we start practicals, somewhere in the middle of C#.NET, we are going to learn about this in detail. Okay. Architecture of compiler and assembler. Reverse engineering in .NET. Right. What it means and all, we'll try to analyze the total process. Right. Now, to make this point little easy, here. First, let me explain you. We have our source code. Okay. Source code. Program written by us. Okay. So you can call this to be C#.NET application, which you refer as source code. Okay. This is source code. Now, what would you do? You give this code to compiler. Okay. So I'll call this language compiler. Yes. Language compiler. And compiler will generate what it generates. I already said you, assembly, which has .exe or .dll, right? Which is also called PE file. And the code what is available in it is CIL code in binary format. Okay. Maximum things of what I already explained you yesterday, the same thing. No change. Still assembler part we didn't start. Okay, just wait. We'll come across even that part as well. Okay, this is PE file. And this is the code, CIL code in binary form. in binary form. Now assume, first, as a programmer, you write source code. That code you give to compiler. Compiler generates CIL code, and that CIL code is helpful in executing the program. In what? Execution of the program. Now, for some reason or by some way, say, this source code file which you actually created has been lost. You lost that file. Source code file, the main program which you have written, that program, you by some way you lost it, right? That file has been deleted. It got accidentally deleted. Now you are available only with exe. Now you are available only with what? Exe you have. Okay. Now interesting thing, listen carefully. Now interesting thing is if at all I want to retain or recollect my source code again. If I want to recollect what? Source code. Just 1 second. I have a priority call. 1 second. Yeah. So what I was saying is source code you have written, and then compiler generated this assembly exe file. And then I said that a scenario I'm saying that by some way you lost this file, source code you lost. Now you have only exe file. The question that comes is, if I lose my source code, after that, if I felt that I want to make some changes in my application, or if I want to make some changes in my output of the program, but I don't have source code. If I have source code, I can make changes in that. When the source code is not available, then how do I make changes? So for that, Microsoft gives you a provision where from this exe file, you can retain again your source code. From exe file, you can retain your what? Source code. How do you retain? What is the approach? So remember, from assembly, you are going to create this file, this particular file, which is through one software related file. I'll explain you in detail. Just wait. Yeah. Now I say what? CIL code in text format it is. That was binary. CIL code comes in two formats. One is binary, one is text format. Text format will not be there. You are going to create this now. You are going to create this. Okay, I'll give you one example. Right, then you can understand what actually I'm trying to come up with this. Say for example, like we all four, Chalapati, Savitri, Saurabh, and myself, Shareef. We all four are given assignment, right? Assignment. What is the assignment given to us is they asked us to write a program in C#.NET, and that program's output will be like this. For example, they gave the assignment. They asked us to do the program, right? So what is that they say? They said that when you write a program, you have to write a program in such a way that whenever you run the program, you have to give your input to the program like this. For example, I call LAL. They said like it's an assignment program for us. Assume assignment program given to four of us. And they said like that in the program, they said if input is given like this, Lal Bahadur Stadium. If they give input, they want output, it seems, like this. LB Stadium. Like this they want. So they gave us the assignment program. Right? Then what happens? Chalapati starts writing. I mean, he starts writing the code on that. Savitri also tries to write the code on that. Saurabh Singh also will write the code on that. Even I will start writing the code on it. We all four are working on it. Okay. Finally, the question is now, Chalapati has completed the program. Whatever they ask in the assignment, he could do that. He got that output of what they want. Successfully, code is working for him. Savitri also could do that code. Saurabh Singh also could do that. But putting me into a picture, I could not get the logic of that program. So Chalapati has written program, source code. He compiled it. He got exe file. He executed it successfully. What they ask is working for Chalapati. Same thing Savitri. Savitri has written a code in her personal system. She gave it to compiler. Compiler generated CIL code. She has executed the program. Even for her also, the code, whatever they want, is successfully being provided. Same is the case of Saurabh Singh. And you know what you people have done is, they said Lal Bahadur Stadium, output should be LB Stadium. And what you three people have done, at the end of the program, for your understanding, for your importance to your program, what you did, you said like this: program developed by Chalapati raw. Or if it is, if the program written by Saurabh Singh, he has written in his program. At the end of the program, when he runs the program, he'll get like this: program developed by Saurabh Singh. When Savitri runs the program, in her program, she'll get at the end: program developed by Savitri. The program is taking input, the program is executing some logic for that, and finally it is giving output. And at the end of the program, you have mentioned this for now. Then what will I do? I'm unable to get the logic. I'm struggling, working hard to get the logic, but I'm unable to get. So obviously I'll meet with my people with whom I got assignment. So I meet Chalapati Rao, I'll meet Savitri, I'll meet Saurabh Singh. I'll ask them to share the programs. So obviously no one will give source code. Believe me, no one. That is their efforts. That is their struggle. It's their logic. Output, all of them will get, no doubt. But the logic what Chalapati Rao, the logic which Savitri, the logic which Saurabh Singh has written may be different. slightly maybe different. But all of them have got the output. So what am I doing? As I'm unable to get the logic, I'll approach Chalpati Rao, I'll explain, I'll ask him to share the program. Definitely he won't give the program. That is not ethics even. That is support actually. That is something like an invalid point. Like if I'm asking him to share the program. If same thing I'll ask Savitri, even Savitri will not share the source code. Saurav Singh will not share the source code because their struggle. Why will they just like that start sharing the coding? But what they will do, they share their source code, but they gave their exe file. They gave their exe file. So I went to Chalapati Rao. I asked him that to share the program. He said program he don't want to share. He said that you want to run and see the program what I developed, you can take exe file. Okay, I say okay, give at least the I'll at least see what did that execution part. Because no, what he'll do, he'll copy that exe file in pen drive, and I will copy that exe file in my laptop, and I'll execute, and 100% the program will execute. But last me, why I collected that program? So I felt that at least if I have, I can change that program developed by Chalapati Rao. By some way, I want to change that Chalapati Rao to Shareef. But what you three people are doing, you're not sharing me source code. You're not sharing me with source code. You are sharing me only exe file. What I could do, I could only run my code, but I cannot see what logic you people have written in the program. When I'm executing the code, it is asking me the input, it's giving me the output, but I'm not sure what you people have written in the program to get that logic. But I'm unable to put the logic from my end. But you know something? If any one of you share exe file with me, easily I can cheat the logic. I can cheat the logic. What I'll do, you didn't share me with source code, no? You didn't share me with source code, no? And in every program, at the end, you are getting your name also, right? Program developed by Savitri, program developed by Chalpati, program developed by Saurav Singh. But I'm unable to get the logic. But someone shared with me that exe file. It's enough. What I'll do, from exe file, I convert binary format to text format. In order to convert this, software provides you one API. Software provides you what? API. And that API is called ILDASM.exe. This is software related file. You call application program interface. Yes. See, I'm not writing program. See, interesting thing. I'm not writing program. What am I doing? You shared with me your exe file now. So I'll use this ILDASM.exe, which is called to be an API. That API, that exe file I'll use. I'll convert CIL code binary to CIL code. Which format? Text format. And what I will do, interesting. I got my text format now. Simply I'll open that file. Text format file I'll open. After opening, I will delete Chalapati Rao's name. If Savitri has shared the exe file, I'll slowly remove Savitri's name from there. If Saurabh Singh has, I'll delete Saurabh Singh's name and I'll write my name. I'll write my name. How am I doing that? I'm cheating your program. I'm cheating your logic. I just converted your exe to text. I converted your binary CIL code binary to CIL code text format using one API called what? ILDASM. 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 What is it called? Intermediate language disassembler. Yeah. Intermediate language. What? Disassembler. IL-DASM. And what did I do? I simply opened text format. I deleted Chalapati Rao's name from there. I copied my name. I have written my name. After writing that name, now what I'll do, again, I need binary format only to run the code. Text format will not be suitable. Again, I'll copy this text format back again. I'll copy text format where I'm copying back again to after cheating, after copying what after changing the name. Now what am I trying to do? Now I'm trying to change IL asm.exe, which is called to be API. Intermediate language assembler. DASM is disassembler. ASM is assembler. And that will write back again CIL code text to CIL code binary. In the absence of what I'm doing this, in the absence of source code, I'm doing this. In the absence of source code, I'm doing this. Intermediate language assembler. That was disassembler. This is assembler. Then definitely the question comes now. Question comes, this is a task of assignment. I could cheat your program. Then real-time application, you think? Real-time application. We put days and nights efforts to develop one project, to develop an application. And if I give them exe files, people can, overnight, they can change your, multiple copies of your application. Just they may change the name and they may sell the project. They may change the name, sell the project. They are not writing any logic in it. They are not keeping any brain in it. They are rather applying that point of what? Cheating of changing the code, changing the name. Output you're getting. But is it the correct way? No, not at all. But you can do this. Practically, I'll show you this practically. So that you could experience now what is called reverse engineering. So indirectly, now I will highlight what? Generating CIL code binary back again to source code. This is what you call as what? Reverse engineering. That is the reason what Microsoft has done now in order to avoid this reverse engineering process. In order to avoid this reverse engineering process, Microsoft has introduced one tool. Companies they will make that tool install in your laptop. Before it is shared with you, they will do all these things in background that you may not be knowing. So they will install one tool, and name of the tool is .fuscator. 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 And what this tool will do, now you write. This tool introduced by Microsoft will avoid reverse engineering. Indirectly, it means now your code will be secured. People cannot cheat the logic now. This tool will create a key on assembly and add some code into it, which creates confusion and restricts reverse engineering. Hence, applications developed in .NET are secure. Yeah. But this tool, after introducing this tool, this is the story that you would find now. So obviously, in my personal laptop or in your personal laptop, this tool will not be available. You, me, all can experience this reverse engineering process. Yeah. You have any questions on this? Go ahead, please. Any question that which is confusing you, bring to my notice. Architecture of compiler assembler. Yeah. Telepathy, was everything clear? Are you all clear with this point? Saurabh Singh, what about you?
Little bit confusion, sir. But
No
it's
problem. Good.
okay.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. No problem. This actually I said no. I said this is all required practical.
Yes, sir.
But my point is, I just want to highlight that .NET has a support of compiler and .NET even has a support of assembler. You understand? Even if this is confusion, I said you experience practical you experience. By the time I explain you this, we will have full-fledged idea on maximum things of C#.NET. By the time I explain you that this topic practically.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Saurabh Singh, what about you?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Right. Now we'll talk about second feature that is called language independent. Language independent. And what do you learn about language independent? See, today what we find, .NET application logic can be developed. .NET application logic you can develop in any .NET framework compatible language. In any. You understand? And as far as .NET of today's concept is concerned, you would notice that around 60% or 60 plus languages are there. 60 plus languages are there that are supporting .NET framework. That are supporting what? .NET framework. Right? I'll explain it first. .NET application logic can be developed in any .NET framework compatible language. Hence, .NET is called language independent. Today, approximate of 60 plus languages supporting .NET framework. 60 plus languages. And you can develop that logic in any of these languages. And in that 60 plus languages, Microsoft developed languages are only 4 languages provided by Microsoft. What are they? Visual Basic .NET. That's what you call VB.NET. Okay. Second, Visual C# .NET, Visual C++ .NET, Visual F# .NET. These are Microsoft developed languages. Now, I'm not saying that every person who has knowledge of .NET that he has to write program only in C# .NET. No, not necessary. Not necessary. If Saurabh Singh is good in VC++, he will write the code in VC++. If Shareef is good in C# .NET, I'll write the code in C# .NET. If Chalapati is good in VB.NET, he'll write the code in VB.NET. All are writing in their easy approach to the language. Whoever are experienced in whichever language, according to that, they're writing the code. And apart from this Microsoft, we got even third-party languages. Third-party languages. And what are they? These all are third-party languages. What are they? One they call Perl.NET. They call Python.NET. They call Pascal.NET. They call APL.NET. They call as COBOL.NET. They call another one as Eiffel.NET. They call as Haskell.NET. Then they call as Oberon.NET. Then they call Smalltalk.NET. Then they call as PHP.NET. Then they call as JSharp.NET. List goes, etc. And don't forget this point, please. .NET framework is called platform for .NET application. Means .NET applications will run through .NET framework. That is a platform. That is a platform. This also I have explained actually through one architecture. I'll just show you. I'll show you that architecture part. This architecture, which I covered in my introduction classes here. You see that and understand. .NET code. What is the platform? .NET framework. And for .NET framework, what is the platform? Operating system. For operating system, what is the platform? Hardware. So .NET is dependent on .NET framework. Without .NET framework, no .NET application runs. Base, I'm saying platform, base. If base is not there, then no application of .NET works. It is that major factor, .NET framework. Okay, did you understand that now? So same thing I'm saying now. How many languages today are there which are supporting .NET framework? How many languages are there? 60 plus languages are there. Microsoft, however they are there, Microsoft developed languages. I'm talking about that sentence, this sentence. Logic can be developed in any .NET framework compatible language. That is called language independent. Yeah, did you all understood what I mean with this? Did you all understood?
Yes, sir.
This is another feature of .NET. Why people prefer for .NET? This could be one reason. Language independent. We are not forcing a programmer to write the code only in Microsoft developed languages. No, if someone is good in PHP, if someone is good in COBOL language, then they can use COBOL.NET and they can write the code. No problem. There is .NET code only, but they're writing in COBOL.NET. If someone is good in Python, yes, they can use Python.NET and they can develop the application in Python. .NET application in Python. Third feature, language interoperability. Language interoperability. This is also practical orientation, practical orientation. Now, what is language interoperability? I'll do one thing again. I'll take one example. You be clear with the example first. Then technical things I'll write in the form of notes. You can easily adapt that notes. You can easily understand that notes. First, you need to be clear of what I'm saying on that. Fine. Let's take like this. Notepad I'll open. Say, we all are working in one company. Okay. Company. Say it is like called Global Software Solutions. This is one company in which we all are working, right? And now interesting thing is in our company, I make like this: Shareef and Chalapathy. We both know VB.NET. We are programmers of VB.NET, me and him. And another team is there, another team of two people again. One is Saurabh and second is Savitri. And these two are experienced with C#.NET. Listen carefully, please. There is no confusion on this. Right? Practical, you listen, that will give you a very strong confidence. But before learning practical, you should be very clear on understanding the working process for theoretical first. Because interviews you talk orally. They won't ask you to show anything for practical. Whatever you say theory, that you should be confident of saying it. There should be an authentic proof of saying that. Okay. So now listen. Now company got a project. And that company got a project, and that project has to be developed in .NET. Project to be developed in .NET. Okay. Now what company will do? Company knows that they have some employees who have knowledge in VB.NET. Company knows that they have some employees who have knowledge in C#.NET. Then company will say that some part of the project, people who have knowledge of VB.NET, they will develop, and some part of the project, those people will develop who have knowledge in C#.NET. So what Chalapati and me will do, we start writing applications here. We start writing programs, applications. And almost me and Chalapati have written around 50 programs here, 50 programs for that project, 50 programs. And all we both wrote in VB.NET. And obviously, these two programmers, C#.NET, they too started developing a project. They too started writing programs, and they have already done around, they have written around 60 or 50 programs. Like, say, for example, they both have written around 75 programs. Now, see, project is one only. Project is one. But how company saving the time, you see, how company saving the time. They don't want to develop the project only in C#. They don't want the team of VB.NET to sit idle in the company. Company is on currently a partner also involved in the project. Some part of the project VB people will develop, part of the will develop. Do you understand? Now, in this concept, definitely you may come across this situation of what? Programs written by us, Shareef and Chalapati, VB.NET, we both have written programs. Those programs need to be executed through C# because we all are in the same project. No? We all are working for the same project. So our written programs, you people need a support of it. Your written programs, I also need a support of it. So now remember, executing C#.NET code through VB.NET or executing VB.NET code through C#.NET code is what you call language interoperability. And finally, you share our programs, we share your programs, all connections we establish, and your software is ready. Then you hand it over that software to your client. How do you define language interoperability? One language code you want to execute from another language, and that language code you want to execute from another language. C# code VB want to execute, VB want to execute C# code. Exchange. And how do you describe? Yes, now I will write the technical terms in the definition. Language interoperability. Now you can say it is a concept of developing .NET application with the help of more than one .NET language. Definition, you see, definition. .NET application we are developing with the support of more than one .NET language. That is what I gave an example. Some part of the program in C#, in some part of the program you want to develop in VB. Why you want to do so? You want to save your time. Fast you can complete your project so that you can make your employees involved in some other project. You can get another project to involve in it. Example, I'll give example part. Example. What did you say? Data types used in C#.NET differs with the data types used in VB.NET. Hence, when application of these languages need to be executed together, then the problem will be solved in .NET using something called CTS. What do you call that? CTS. What is CTS? CTS is Common Type System. Then you can find it contains, CTS contains, I mean to say, CTS contains list of special data types that are common for both languages, through which CLR understands. Now I'll give you that example. I took now, say for example, we be language developers. You both C# language developers. Now, VB mein, you got to write one program. In C# mein, you both have written one program. Now I'll say, in VB, if you want to store integer related data, we use a data type called integer. In VB, we use integer. And in C#, if you want to represent integer type data, we use int data type here. There we use integer. Here we write int. Here we find what? Int. There it is integer. Here it is int. And now question is how VB understands int now? Because it is an int is a part of C#. And integer is a part of VB. If you ask C# to understand about integer, C# says that I don't know anything about integer. I know only about int, not integer. If you give int to VB, VB cannot understand what is int. Then the problem starts now. Then how will you ask them to share? Yes, please.
कितना बुरा बसा रहा है?
Saurabh, you mute yourself, Saurabh. So what would you do? Now we have to go with mediator now, mediator. And that mediator is system.int32. This is special data type. That is what you call, this is what you call as CTS. Microsoft has designed something called common type system. Now the connectivity goes like this. The connectivity goes like this. How do you go? How does they go now? It will be in this format. In this format. Integer will go to system.int32 and system.int32 will make int understand about integer. Reverse. Int you give to system, int will go to system.int32 and system.int32 will make integer understand about int. Language interoperable. Operability. C# code executing through VB. VB code executing through C#. Now from VB to C#, C# 2BB, both connections, both. And CTS related, I'll explain you practical when starts now. Practical, definitely these all theoretical topics I'll cover there. Then you'll get to know a lot about it at that time. Okay, I'll clear them all. Then from there also, same story. This is the connectivity how we are going to get between the programs like this. They all meet up with that data type. They both meet with this CTS, with this common type system. Practical starts, practical I'm going to talk on this common type system. Detail we'll see. I'll show you some practical examples on the role of CTS. And this picture will help you to describe now. This will allow C# to invoke VB code and vice versa. And vice versa. And then I'll write, hence language interoperability has become possible in .NET. That's it. 3 topics we covered today. One is about compiler assembler, language independent, language interoperability. Theoretical, you try to figure out these 2 things. Definitely coming classes when we go with practical session, you will then how these are to be practically dealt with, right? So tomorrow's class, I'm going to cover some more features. Then probably we need one more session tomorrow for theory. After that, we are into practical. Okay. Fine then. Yeah, you have any questions, Savitri?
No, sir.
You, because in between, I mean, you disappeared when I was talking about the other thing. Like, might be you got some network issue. I felt in that way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Network issue.
Okay.
I will
Sure,
see
no issue.
video. Oh.
Okay. You go through the video, no problem.
Okay.
You're working or?
Yeah, sir. I worked before.